The Indianapolis Colts are handing back the keys to the car to AR-15. He is apparently going to be the QB1 for the remainder of the season, even though Joe Flacco was announced to be the QB1 for the remainder of the season a few weeks ago. This franchise, this ownership, Jim Irsay, Shane Steichen, it's really, really, really messy right now and kind of an ugly foreshadow for the potential future of this franchise for the foreseeable future. Now, Joe Flacco, that might be the last we see of old Joe Flacco. I feel like he may have finally flamed out. I know he looked really good the first couple games, and he had a pretty bad stretch in the last few. So we'll see if we ever do see him again, but considering his age and maybe his lack of interest, I'm not sure if we'll ever see him again, but I hope we do, because I feel like he can still play. I still believe in his arm, and I feel like he could win a playoff game if given the right opportunity. That Ravens run he had, legendary stuff, and I'm not saying he could do that again, but you never know. Like, if you inserted Joe Flacco on the Detroit Lions right now, I don't know, I feel like he'd be okay. But overall, Indy is just a really messy place right now, and Joe Flacco is headed to the bench. So AR-15 had this to say about getting benched the last couple weeks. Quote, "I feel like these past 2 weeks have opened my eyes and allowed me to take a deeper dive into myself and see what I'm made out of." And I agree with that. You know, you're a top 5 draft pick and you get benched. That's a pretty humbling experience, and I'm sure he did not take it lightly. Now, the only thing about that is how much can you really grow and improve and learn in just a few weeks of being benched? I touched on this before. I really would like to see AR-15 just be on the bench for at least another year or two. Pull a Jordan Love, because this guy is extremely erratic and all over the place. Yes, he has skill. Yes, he has talent, but so far he just hasn't looked like an NFL starting quarterback. And I just feel like he needs to really grasp defenses and really get the mental side and IQ side of the game down before actually being a reliable starter in this league. But yeah, man, the fact that Jim Irsay and Shane Steichen came up with this redo of a decision to put back AR in there is just kind of crazy. I don't know, man. I think Jim Irsay isn't one of the best owners in the NFL, and I really feel like they whiffed on this draft pick. And, you know, just even if you take a step back and just take a look at this season, for them to flip-flop like that, as a player in the locker room, it's got to be frustrating. It's got to be like, what are you boneheads doing? Like, what is going on here? This is a circus. And, you know, it's looking that way from the outside looking in. I can't even imagine what it's like actually in the facilities every day. I believe in Shane Steichen. I don't believe in Jim Irsay, and I don't believe in Anthony Richardson. Yes, he could turn it around and, you know, maybe salvage this season and salvage his Colts career, but I don't really see that happening. Maybe if he took a 8-week stay on the bench, but only 2 weeks, man, that's nothing. That's 14 days, that's nothing. So I'd be really surprised if he came out swinging and just looked really good down the stretch. I'm sure his first game back this Sunday against the Jets, he's going to try to play hero ball, and I'm sure he'll make some incredible plays, but will he be consistent? Will he put a full game together? I guess we'll find out. Let me know what you think about Colts ownership right now and just this decision to go back to Anthony Richardson. Let me know in the comments below. Honestly, if it was up to me, I would just keep Joe Flacco in there for the rest of the year. I really think AR just needs to take a seat for a long, long time. And I know Joe hasn't been good, but still, like, I don't think this Colts team is a playoff team. You know, you have the Broncos and the 7th seed position right now with the Bengals behind them and then the Dolphins. Do you really think the Colts are on par with any of those teams? Not saying those teams would blow out the Colts, but I don't really think they're evenly matched. So I'd really just punt this season, put Joe Flacco in there. If he gets hot, cool, maybe we can make a push to the playoffs, but if he doesn't, try to get a high draft pick and, see what 2025 holds. But that's what I would do. Let me know what you do in the comments below. So, like I said, the Colts are playing a very winnable game this Sunday at MetLife against the New York Jets. We'll see if they could come out with a win there. And you know what? I may not be very high on this team, but guess what? They're 4-6. They're one game back from the Broncos right now. So if they go on a run here, they could maybe sneak in the playoffs. You never know. But after the Jets, they're at home against the Lions, then at New England. Then they have their bye. And then for the remainder of December, they're at Denver, at home against the Titans, at the Giants, and they finish off the year at home versus the Jaguars. Pretty good schedule there, besides the Detroit Lions. Very winnable schedule, very doable. So who knows, maybe I'll eat crow and AR-15 will go on some sort of magical run to the playoffs. It's possible because I believe in Shane Steichen, and that's a really easy schedule. So you never know. Let me know if you think the Colts could go on a run here. I'm curious if any Colts fans really believe in AR-15 going forward, or are you just done with him? But one thing for sure is I don't think this guy has quarterback traits. A quarterback is supposed to be a leader and unselfish, and so far what we've seen from Anthony Richardson is pretty selfish behavior with his stuff off the field, with quotes he's had, and taking yourself out when you're tired is just ridiculous. Again, I've never seen that in the NFL. That's just a joke. And it's funny, I believe last offseason he was on a podcast and he said that playing in the NFL was easier than college. So I don't know what's up with this dude. I really don't. And not only that, but I feel like he's borderline injury prone. Yeah, sure, he's great at running the ball, but he's had some pretty big injuries so far in his short career in the NFL. Listen, I like Shane Steichen. I just think they got to take the L and just move off of this guy. I don't know. It's kind of a good question. Would you rather have Bryce Young or Anthony Richardson right now? If I'm the Colts, I'd rather take Bryce Young with Shane Steichen than Anthony and Shane Steichen. But that's just me. I know it's not really a very fun comparison, but I just don't believe in this dude. I'd be really surprised if he salvaged his Indianapolis Colts career. Yes, he could go on to another team and have some success and maybe be a starter one day, but until that happens, I gotta see it, man. I gotta see it. So let me know what you think about this news. If you made this far, please subscribe and help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
Coming to the line at the 27. The Bears lined up in the nickel. 1st and 10. Oh, the receiver turns around and defends the pass and takes away what would have been a pick.
Got to give the defense a lot of credit there, don't you, Jim? They are all over the receivers, all over the field, nowhere to throw it, and it just results in an incompletion.
Got hit on release. After the incomplete pass, it's 3rd down. Out of the shotgun formation. Green's going to pull in the bullet pass. Marquette down for another reception.
The Chargers on their offensive play sheet, they don't have many plays for 3rd and long situations, but that is a really nice job that time by the offense, the quarterback,